Reflections of Purpose.
Hello, thanks so much for joining us. You join the ride is Twisted Threads. My name is Karen Sims, and these are our Reflections of Purpose. As always, we remind you to like and share these videos. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss a beat. So today, wanted to kind of change gears just a little bit, and I know we've been talking about motivating yourself and how to set goals, and really a lot of things on how to create success in our lives, not just for 2019, but moving ahead. But today, I want to talk a little bit about preparing your heart to receive. So that's our topic. You know how we do. We get right into it. Preparing your heart to receive. So when we think about preparing our hearts, a lot of us, we love getting gifts. We might love surprises. Not everybody loves surprises, but we love for good things to come in our lives. But there are a few times in our life when having the good stuff coming together doesn't really help us in any type of capacity. So preparing your heart to receive means for you to give yourself an opportunity to have that spirit of gratitude, to have a heart of gratitude, to have a heart of thankfulness, and really to recognize if you've been wounded. Now, that's important. I love my G.I. Joe days because it would say, knowing is half the battle. There are many of us as adults that we get wounded, and maybe the wounds came from our parents. Maybe the wounds came from us growing up in environments that just were not supportive of who we were, whatever our background. I know I have conversations often with my own children about things. They're like, you're a totally different person as a grandmother or Mimi to my grandchildren than I was to them. And a lot of things that changed over the time is because I learned better, I was able to do better. And when it comes to setting your heart to receive, we've got to think about those thoughts, those experiences that have wounded us, and really take inventory of them. There's a lot of things that you do that you don't even know why you do it. So I love that I had the opportunity to read a book that was authored by my great-grandfather. And the importance of me reading this book wasn't just because I would learn more about my family tree and learn about this amazing man and all of the things that he did. But the interesting thing that came as I started reading the book, and in another live, I'll share some more with you all on how that unfolded and how we got to learn things. But I started reading this book, and I never really paid attention to the fact that when I was growing up, my mom's mom, so my grandmother, passed away when my mother was very, very young. So I always had questions about my grandmother that not everybody would answer. I don't know if it was a big secret or whatnot, but I would always be afraid of, would that happen to me? So there was nobody to fill in the blanks and tell the health story about my grandmother until I got probably about 30. And then somebody answered the question that I had. And my question was simple. What did she die from? And everybody talked about how she lived, talked about the wonderful and amazing person she was. But they didn't really get into the thing that always would scare me and make me limit myself in my own mind. Because I was like, well, did she drop dead? And is that going to happen to me? I know these things sound crazy, but it may be something in your life that it wounded the way that you think. Was it a bad relationship? Was it a divorce? My friend Jacinthe Headlam, she is on a book release tour right now. And the book is called Love After. Love After Divorce, Love After Hurt. And she's got an amazing story and testimony that she's sharing with the world. She's literally all over, in Jamaica, in the States, just everywhere. And I'm so proud of her. But it brought up the thought of, so what are the areas that we need to be healed for? So now we've had the admission that we are wounded. We've taken time to think about the areas that we are wounded in. The next step is we have to grieve. We've got to grieve the loss of the things that we don't know. It's like, songwriters, they say it all the time. It's like I'm missing something that I don't even know what is there because it's never been in my life. Sometimes it's a person where it's like, I miss you and I haven't even met you yet. I know that's a song. I don't know who sings it anyway. But it literally is the thing that we miss the most. We miss the chance to grieve the loss, to experience the rehabilitation that's needed. So if you sprain your wrist or your arm, you'll go for physical therapy and they'll help you retrain your muscles so that you have a different reaction in life. That's the same thing you got to do when you prepare your heart to receive. You got to take that time to heal. So in that grieving time, you grieve first. And then you take the time to heal. Because the grieving is literally sort of like a detox, getting that emotional detox, at getting everything out of you that seemed to cause things to fester. You turn that around and you understand that then you take the time to heal. Taking the time to heal requires for you to have a grateful heart, an attitude of gratitude, an opportunity for you to understand that if you take a positive approach in the way that you're looking at things, the odds are you'll create a whole new existence in the way that you're thinking, but in your everyday life as well. So people will relate to you differently. They'll see you as a different person. You know, when I was younger, me not only being a single mother, I was a teenage mother. And so everybody would be like, oh, Karen, let me tell you what to do. I promise you, everybody they had advice. They had parenting advice. They had school advice. They had, oh my goodness, I had advice on top of advice on top of advice. And then I had to sift through all of that advice and figure out what things stuck with me. But part of one of the wounds that I had to heal was that spirit of inadequacy, that I felt like I had that imposter syndrome that, yeah, I'm being a good mother, but I'm not being anything else. And so I had to redirect my thinking and remind myself of the things that I had to be grateful for. And then I had to make it part of my daily routine to repeat positive affirmations. I am beautiful. So then I'm not waiting for the next person to tell me I'm beautiful, because I told myself that. So I appreciate you for having a spirit of agreement with me to say that I'm beautiful. I am brilliant. I am smart. I am capable. There's nothing. I'm unstoppable. I am relentless. All of these things that I remind myself of. And my kids, I would tell them that stuff too. And the thing is, they actually believed me. And so now they're living lives that allow them to be great, to be brilliant. And they don't have to shrink back in themselves because they understand that my voice was louder than everybody else's in the world. And hopefully most of you as parents are reminding your children of their greatness. You're reminding them of their uniqueness. You're reminding them that they are fearfully and wonderfully made, but they're made with a purpose in this world. And it's not just to be regular people. Like I would always tell my kids, we're not regular. You're not regular. Why? Because you're my children. And I literally would speak greatness into them until they believed it. Now, some of them, they'll probably say, Mom, you're doing the most, like you're doing too much. But it was necessary because I didn't recognize at the time what they would need to deal with. So in this day's society of bullying, of suicide, of people just not really respecting life, it's a lot of things that we need to think of that. So when we're thinking about preparing our hearts to receive, be reminded, you got to first take inventory of the areas that you were wounded. Take the time to grieve. Take the time to heal. Remember to have a grateful heart and repeat positive affirmations. If you don't know where to find them, hey, we'll post them on Twisted Threads so you can follow our Facebook page and really know what to say to yourself. And get yourself in the mirror and say it to yourself until you believe it. Now look. Seeing is believing. Usually maybe the first day, you're not going to believe everything that you see. But somewhere in there, you'll continue to hear those positive affirmations. And they will allow the hurt to open your heart and give you and put you in a place where it is easier for you to receive. It's easier for you to receive love because you're not sitting in a seat of bitterness. It's easier for you to receive good things that's coming to you because you're putting out good things. So if you believe in karma, if you believe in the cycle of reciprocity, whatever it is, it's what you put out is what you're going to get back. Remember to repeat those things until they become consistent habits in your life. And you will be able to clock the change that you see in in your life. You'll be able to see the positive things that literally just fall. We hear people say favor is not fair. It's not fair, but sometimes it takes some work because you got to prepare your heart to receive. And then once you believe it, you speak it, you believe it, you will receive it. I hope that this message impacted you in a positive way. If it did, remember to like and share. Go on our YouTube channel and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We've got more positive messages to motivate you, to empower you, to impact, inspire, and transform your very life. Make it an amazing day.